You see, here y'all go again. All of a sudden, we got all of this nasty work. Raven Johnson, black card. Her black card is being pulled. She's getting blasted by black people all over the internet for supporting Caitlin Clark making an all-star game. How ridiculous is that? You got these people blasting her online, talking about, oh, you're not black no more. Your black card is revoked. You're no longer invited to the cookout. All of this stuff because she supported a teammate making the all-star team. It's freaking disgusting. We got to get into it, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
What happens when supporting your own teammate is suddenly treated like an act of absolute treason? The toxicity surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever has officially reached a level of pure, unadulterated insanity, and the target this time isn't even Clark herself. It is her own teammates. A black player on the Indiana Fever is currently being aggressively blasted, dragged through the mud, and told that her black card has been officially revoked by her own community, all for committing the unforgivable crime of congratulating Caitlin Clark on making the WNBA All-Star team. It is a stunning, deeply embarrassing display of double standards that completely exposes the sheer, irrational hatred simmering underneath this league. You are locked into WNBA Watch, the absolute authority on the raw, unfiltered truth behind the biggest controversies in professional basketball. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and let's dive directly into the absolute clown show that is currently tearing this fan base apart. To truly comprehend the sheer absurdity of this situation, you have to look at the viral video that triggered this massive meltdown. The Indiana Fever released a lighthearted, celebratory video hyping up their three all-star starters: Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Caitlin Clark. During the clip, one of Clark's teammates enthusiastically hyped her up, jokingly calling her my sister, my cousin, my auntie, my mama, my friend. It was a completely harmless, standard display of locker room camaraderie. But the reaction from a highly vocal, incredibly toxic segment of the internet was absolutely horrifying. The comments were flooded with people accusing the teammate of having her brain scrambled by aliens, claiming she had chosen her side, and literally stating that they were officially disowning her. Think about the absolute sickness of that logic. A professional athlete is being told she is no longer welcome in her own community simply because she showed basic human decency and support for the rookie who is actively helping her team win basketball games. It proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that for a certain segment of this fan base, this isn't about basketball anymore. It is a deeply personal, highly toxic agenda. But the hypocrisy doesn't stop with the fans. It extends directly to the sports media personalities who are constantly, exhaustively moving the goalposts. For weeks, talking heads and podcasters have been aggressively demanding that Caitlin Clark must step in front of a microphone and single-handedly police the entire internet. They claim that her silence regarding the online toxicity directed at players like Alyssa Thomas is an active choice, and they demand she publicly tell her fans to back off. But here is the massive, undeniable reality check that the media completely refuses to acknowledge. Caitlin Clark has already spoken out. She has explicitly, publicly condemned racism, misogyny, and toxic fan behavior on multiple occasions. She did exactly what they demanded, and the result? Absolutely nothing changed. The media didn't praise her. They just found a new reason to criticize her. It proves that there is absolutely nothing Caitlin Clark can say or do that will ever satisfy these critics, because their outrage is entirely performative. They don't actually want her to fix the problem. They just want to use the problem as an excuse to tear her down. Thankfully, former NFL superstar LaShawn Shady McCoy recently stepped up to a microphone and delivered a much-needed, brutal dose of reality regarding the Alyssa Thomas situation. When asked about the intense online backlash Thomas received after choke-slamming Clark on national television, McCoy didn't offer any fake sympathy. He delivered the cold, hard truth about professional sports. If you cannot handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. McCoy pointed out that in the NFL or the NBA, if a player makes a critical mistake or targets a beloved superstar, they face an absolute avalanche of relentless, often toxic fan feedback. It is an unfortunate, but entirely unavoidable reality of playing sports at the absolute highest level in the social media era. McCoy essentially told the WNBA establishment to stop playing the victim. When you physically target the single most popular, polarizing athlete in the history of women's sports, her millions of fans are going to react aggressively. You cannot provoke the golden goose on the hardwood and then cry when the goose's fans show up in your comments section. What makes this entire situation so deeply infuriating is the blinding, unapologetic hypocrisy.
Serious? Fans from college turned on Raven Johnson because she congratulated her teammate Caitlin Clark on being a WNBA All-Star. Here's Raven with Sophie Cunningham and teammates in a TikTok. Raven, I mean, this is crazy, man. Look at this. Look at what it says. Black folks just disowned Raven Johnson, all because she simply congratulated Caitlin Clark for being a starter in the WNBA All-Star game. That is disgusting. Some of y'all are the ones that's really racist. For real, for real. I don't mind saying it. Now check this.
Of the league's outrage machine. Where was this massive, coordinated demand for public statements when veteran players were actively inciting their fan bases to physically harm Caitlin Clark off the court? Where were the emergency press conferences when Indiana Fever players were being called horrific racial slurs by opposing fan bases earlier in the season? The WNBA and its media apparatus only seem to care about online toxicity when the vitriol is directed at the established veteran players. But when the new wave of talent is subjected to intense, targeted harassment, the establishment remains completely deafening.
As the Indiana Fever cut a video for Kelsey and Aaliyah and Caitlin, they all are all-star starters. And the responses that Raven Johnson is getting online is absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. Look at this. Did aliens nap this girl and scramble her brain? I'm worried. Raven, please, brain fried. She's trying to survive that racist.
Silent. It is a highly selective, weaponized form of outrage designed entirely to protect the old guard while leaving the rookies completely exposed to the wolves. And the ultimate, undeniable irony of this entire circus is the financial reality that everyone is desperately trying to ignore. The exact same players and fans who are aggressively complaining about the intense spotlight, the toxic comments, and the overwhelming media coverage are the exact same people eagerly cashing the massive, unprecedented checks that Caitlin Clark brought to the league. They are enjoying the private chartered jets, the sold-out
that get death threats if they fumble the ball and the team loses and now they can't go to the playoffs or the championship. It's happened before. You throw a pick, you lose a game. It happens before. If you talk about certain players that people love, when the 10 Tebow era, when he was balling, you say something about him, they hate you. I get so many death threats and all the time and people saying stuff in my DMs. That's part of being sports, it's part of doing it. If you don't like it, you shouldn't play. Because what do you want the NBA to do? What do you want the NFL to do? What do you want them to do? You can't make fans not be fans. That's what makes fans special. Right now, you hope that nothing happens.
Screaming arenas, and the historic multi-billion-dollar television deals. Yet they actively despise the woman who single-handedly made it all possible. They want all of the unprecedented financial rewards of being a premier global sports league, but they absolutely refuse to accept the intense, often chaotic public scrutiny that comes with it. You cannot have it both ways. The WNBA is currently operating inside a deeply toxic, highly unsustainable paradox. They are actively demanding that Caitlin Clark carry the financial weight of the entire institution on her shoulders, while simultaneously allowing her teammates to be crucified for simply supporting her. Until the league and its fans finally realize that you cannot revolutionize a sport while actively attacking the catalyst of that revolution, this internal civil war will only continue to escalate. I want to hear your absolute raw, unfiltered thoughts down in the comments below. Is the backlash against Clark's teammates the most embarrassing moment of the season? And is LeSean McCoy completely right about the reality of professional sports? Drop your thoughts, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay locked in on the truth, and I will see you all in the very next breakdown.